Okay, Mr. Edelman, I'm going to need you to roll a 20-sided die to check on your decks. See if you make this catch.
All right, let me see here. 20.
Oh, my shit! Like a natural 20?
Natural 20,
Holy
baby.
fuck. And
That means I catch the ball in midair and I flip over and
it kind of bounces off of. So this is. Wait, I'm supposed to say that part, right?
Yeah, you're the
'Cause
dungeon
I'm the
master.
dungeon master. So Mr. Edelman, the ball comes at you from Mr. Brady.
You have to use your words.
I'm just imagining. Greg. Is it Greg or is it like Mr. Brady? No, it's Tom. They didn't have a Tom.
Greg Brady.
Greg Brady. And Greg Brady, let's be fair. It's Greg or Peter or whatever. He gets a 1 when he rolls a 20-sided die, and that's how it ends up in Marsh's nose.
Yeah.
It ends up in Marsh's nose for other reasons when they're offset and they're off camera. But
My character's luckily a halfling, and if I roll a 1, I get to roll again.
yes, Mr. Edelman, your character is a halfling. You are a little bit short.
Is he a little guy?
He's a little guy. He's a little guy.
A little guy in like
He's
comparison
a little guy
to
with like a big beard.
No,
that's
but
the one
like-
thing. He might be half halfling, half dwarf.
Is he? Hold on. Like, is he short in like a Pedroia way, or is he? Because Pedroia is like my height.
Let's see. Hold on.
Hailed on.
Hey Siri, how tall is Julian Edelman?
Oh, by the way, you're listening to Horribly Off Topic.
She didn't.
Julian Edelman is 5 feet 10 inches tall.
He's 5 feet 10. He's a little guy.
He's short
for a
football player, but he's tall for compared to us.
Yeah, he's a little bit taller than me. I think I'm either 5'9" or 5'8.5", something like that. Yeah,
so you're listening to Horribly Off Topic with Chris and Steve.
Yes, with Mr. Brady.
Subscribe,
and
rate, and review on iTunes.
Don't forget to leave a comment.
Make sure you leave a comment and 5-star rating.
Yes.
Every time you listen.
Every time you listen. I think you can only do it once.
Do it every time. You can put more than one comment, can't you?
Oh, maybe you can put more than one comment. These headphones are hurting my ears.
Do you want to put it on half?
No.
Like flip over one
maybe.
side?
I don't know. Some. Yeah.
Oh, you poor thing.
We'll go with that. I don't know. My ears were fucked up last weekend because I have been doing a lot of grading at home. My schedule this semester means that basically Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, aside from when I'm recording this here show with you, Steve,
Which is a nice break,
which
right?
is a nice break. Except, so let me. I'll be sitting in my house and I'll have my headphones on in order to drown out the sounds of children and my dad yelling at the snowblower, and all of that good stuff. So I spent 3 days.
Wait, hold on. So your children and your father were yelling at the snowblower, or your children were yelling?
No, there was a
period.
My children semicolon.
Oh, okay.
My dad yelling at the snowblower. I don't know, maybe a period.
I think period. 'Cause, like my children yelling period, and also
And also-
my dad yelling at the snowblower.
At the snowblower. Okay, yeah. I don't think my kids even. I don't think they care about the snowblower. I don't think they have enough investment.
Do they like
in the
going
snowblower
out in the snow?
No, not particularly. When they had a day off this week, and
As did I think most people. In this
everybody
area.
in my house had the day off.
Except for you?
No, well, yes, except for me. I was working the whole day.
Yeah, but you were working from home.
I was working from home.
You didn't
yes.
have to go into to the college.
This is true. Yes, even the college was closed, which was not. They don't ever close. But this was on Wednesday, I think, or Thursday.
It was Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. So
Because
Thursday,
I worked from home as well on Thursday.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
It was
It was nice to be in my pajamas while I'm working.
It's a nice. It's that people should let us work in our pajamas full time.
Yeah,
Full stop.
we're
more productive.
It brings up the point that if we don't have to spend I don't know about other people, but since I take public transportation, and we've gone over this many a time before.
Yes.
It takes me like hour 15, hour and a half to get in the morning, and an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to get home.
Right.
And you cut that out of the equation, I'm going to be a much happier and productive employee.
A much happier camper, they used to say. Steve.
Yeah, a much happier camper. Although I despise camping.
So for you to be a happier camper, you're not actually camping. You're at home.
I'm in like an RV or like some sort of...
Or you're in a tent
or
in your living room.
in a cabin with like cable or cable. Who gives a shit about cable anymore?
or you are a halfling in a tent in your imagination, along with the collective imaginations of a bunch of people at the table, right? That's you as a happy kid.
I was doing jazz hands as my character was while I was sneaking around.
We're dancing. You're halfling doing jazz.
I was drinking a lot while we played.
Now, where did the halfling like stumble upon a human city where they saw some musicals? Because I don't think hobbits. I mean, I know I'm not allowed to say hobbits because hobbits are
That's
Tolkien.
our word.
That's Tolkien, right? Like, but like a halfling. So the hobbits, they stumble upon a human city because I don't think they have musicals. I don't think they have a musicale over in Hobbiton under the hill. There's not really a big old theater for them to have a musicale.
It's not going to be a big old theater. It's probably going to be a little old theater.
Yeah, but I don't think they do the theater.
You know my character's name?
No.
His name is Miles Lightfoot.
That sounds like the name
like
a 70s like soft rock superstar who's going to show up on the next Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack.
Son of Gordon.
Of course he is.
When I was picking out the character's name, because like there are two kinds of hobbits. I forget what the bulkier kind is, but the Lightfoot hobbit are
Light feet.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's going to be my last name. And then I'm like, wait, Gordon Lightfoot, but Becky's dad's name is Gordon.
It's Gordon.
So she didn't want me to be called Gordon, so I looked up online what are Gordon Lightfoot's kids' names. And the one that I liked the most out of the three of them was Miles, so I went with Miles Lightfoot.
So the halflings don't use the patronymic, I believe is the word. So it's not like you're not Miles Gordonson. Is that like your middle name, Miles Gordonson Lightfoot?
No.
You know how like Thor is Thor Odinson? Like
I didn't know that actually.
That's what.
I probably knew that. I probably watched it
when Idris Elba, when you fell asleep.
When I fell asleep in Thor: The Dark World,
he calls him Odinson. Actually, I think he calls him Odinson in Avengers: Age of Ultron when he's having the mind trip because Scarlet Witch fed him the mushrooms.
The thing about names is like a lot of times it used to be your occupation was your last name.
Yes, yeah. So there's occupational surnames, and there's I think patronymic is
like Carpenter or
Clark.
Clark
is an occupational.
What is a Clark?
You're a clerk.
They make candy.
You're a clerk.
Oh, clerk.
But we say clerk, they say Clark. So you are a learned person.
I'm just going to call you Chris Potato.
Chris Potato. Oh. I'm not. Well, I am a little Irish. To say.
No, the joke was potato, not the fact that you're Irish, but sure.
But let's
go with that.
Potatoes. I know a little bit about my family history. So you say potato, I think Irish. I think, do I have any Irish? And I think, oh yeah, I do. I have some Irish in me.
Who doesn't?
You know.
You want a little? Then yeah.
Yeah, I know those Irish. They don't. They're like a Catholic rabbit.
That is racist.
Hey, Samuel L. Jackson said it. So if a black man says that, it's not racist.
Yes, it is.
He said Ultron was multiplying faster than a Catholic rabbit.
See, the point I'm making here is that people should be able to say humorous things that have racial qualities.
Yes.
And not be completely ostracized for those.
You know what?
But when they say things that are blatantly racist and are trying to be against the rights of other human beings, that's when it's a problem. So, all right, you libtards out there, make the fucking distinction.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
There's me being political for a second.
No, that's it.
Just for a second, and I avoided other things.
Right, we'll stop right there.
Yeah.
But I got to ask you this important question. What's the difference between an Irish wake and an Irish wedding?
I don't know what.
One less drunk.
Oh, because the guy's dead.
So I think that is the name of one of my friend Zeke's chapbooks. He's a poet, and
One Less Drunk.
Less Drunk is the name, and then on the inside is the rest of the joke. And I saw it. So inscribed on the first page is the rest of the joke, and the title is the punchline. And I was so slow, or maybe just so tired, the night that I got that chapbook, I opened it up and I'm reading, and I read that inscription like 3 times. Like, where's the answer? Where's the answer?
It's the title
to
the
the
book.
fucking title, Chris.
Get with it.
I love that joke now too.
But yeah, I mean, it's fun that we're going on an advanced, or no, not advanced anymore.
Advanced, not advanced.
Just regular Dungeon and Dragon adventure. We were not in a dungeon at any point. And
Miles Gordonson Lightfoot.
Not Gordonson. Just Miles Lightfoot.
Miles Lightfoot.
He's
doing some jazz hands.
Yeah,
Is he a secret magic user?
I woke up in a sack.
You were in whose sack? In like a dragon's sack?
No, in a.
Is that where the hobbits come from? Is like from a giant sack?
No, it's where I was clobbered and put into.
Oh. Oh, you were in a okay. So you're in like a cloth sack.
Yes, and I used one of my knives to cut myself out of it.
Okay.
And then I rescued some people.
Did those people then become part of your party?
Yeah, even though one of them was the one that kidnapped me.
Did they somehow like set this whole thing up? They kidnapped you, but they didn't know it, and they're trying to get you on their good graces. And like 4 episodes down the line, it's going to be a very special episode where you find out.
No, I think the next time we have a
friend-
conversation, it's going to be about that because there was a little bit of confusion about who actually kidnapped me.
Was it a land of confusion?
Yes.
Down.
And there's all these crazy puppets running around that look like Ronald Reagan.
I must have seen 1,000. No, just kidding. Yes, one of them did look like Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do it.
Hey, Mommy, it's me, Ronnie. Where's my jelly beans?
They're in my sack.
Mommy, you said you would put the jelly beans in my hiney. That's my Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, he does these impressions.
End scene.
All right, so you're in a sack. You cut your way out of the sack, and you meet up with the people who are then going to go on an adventure with you. And what happens next?
We were on a boat, which is never a good thing.
No, not
It's
in
like
a D&D, not in a D&D adventure.
It's one of those things like when you're one of the times where I don't want to have a fight with anybody ever is in a car. Because I feel like I'm trapped.
Yes, I would. Yes.
So like you don't want to be in a tough situation when you're on any sort of craft, seafaring or otherwise.
Right.
So there's like some zombies are attacking the ship, like pirate zombies or something. We had to dispatch them and then get onto a rowboat and get to shore, which was on the horizon.
Yeah.
So basically, that was a whole bunch of stuff that was happening.
All on that boat.
It was a little bit of a clusterfuck because we're still trying to figure out who we are as characters in this fucking crazy situation.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming the next time we get together, I don't know if the situation will be any better,
less crazy.
but I think we'll be better at being ourselves as characters.
Yeah, I worry about halflings on a boat. Usually, when you see a halfling on a boat, they're heading off to the Pride Lands or whatever the fuck that Gandalf and the elves go. That's the Pride Lands, right?
I think you're mixing up metaphors or movies or something.
I don't know. Everywhere the light touches, that's where the elves rule.
Wow, that's a lot of fucking area.
Everywhere the light touches, the dark place. That's where the hyenas and the orcs that they rode in on. The orcs and the hyenas they rode in on.
Orcs would ride in on hyenas.
Yeah,
or wargs.
Wargs, yeah, they're fucking hyenas. Come on.
I still don't know. I still have no idea how the Peter Jackson managed to stretch The Hobbit into 3 fucking movies.
Hey, very, very careful.
Like,
and by having a nervous breakdown or a heart attack or whatever it was that happened to him
during the film,
I think the
filming of the third one.
Well, no, I think it was somewhere near the beginning because if you watch the initial. If you watch the documentaries, and I still stand by it, even if you hate the Hobbit movies, I find the documentaries about them to be fascinating because he starts off, and I don't know if he'd had the stomach surgery of one sort or another, but he's a very svelte Peter Jackson. He has lost so much weight that if you didn't, maybe he was sick, but I think he'd had the sort of one of those stomach surgeries. And then something happens, and they're very vague and evasive about what happens. And by the time they come back to production, he is back to like roly-poly Peter Jackson. And
did they disconnect? Like maybe it was one of the ones where it was like a band, and then they could just cut the band, and then
But I get the sense that beyond just his weight loss and weight gain, something happened. I don't know if heart attack or what it was. So he comes back, and then
Did you ever see the episode of what the fuck was that damn show? With what's her butt? I can't fucking think of things.
Tina Fey.
No. Parks and Rec.
The
episode of Parks.
She was on that. She
wasn't.
She's the blonde one.
No, that was the other lady.
That was the other lady. Yeah.
Who I also can't think of right now.
Yeah, no, it was,
Parks and Rec. But there was an episode where the character Jerry was he was whatever.
Jerry.
He's having a heart attack and he's farting, and then
okay.
Somebody says that he's having a fart attack.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good. I can't think of
I completely a
fart attack.
See, this is what happens when you interrupt me.
This is what happens.
I completely
when people
derails.
stop being polite and start getting real.
Fuck you.
And then later on they have to get jobs.
What, the people in the real world?
Yeah. They're not. If they were on a boat, which I think that's road rules.
Fuck.
Road rules semester at sea. Which is what you were on. You guys were on your semester at sea as a halfling. And who were the other people in the party?
I think Zog. What the fuck is going on?
Well, I don't know. Your table is falling apart.
I'm just pushing it back together.
Okay.
There was a dragonborn person. His name's Zog, I think.
Daenerys Targaryen?
No, it's
Mother of Dragons?
No, it actually looks like a lizard person.
Oh, he does. Okay, so it's not just a particular group of human beings who think of themselves as having been born of dragons.
No, this is a person that looks like a fucking dragon.
Fucking killer croc.
And then there was a couple of elves.
There's always a couple.
One of them's a wood elf. One of them's a half elf.
Why does everyone want to be an elf?
Because they're pretty.
Okay.
Can you imagine which of the people involved were elves?
No.
You know the gender of the people that are elves?
Oh, were they women?
Yeah.
No, the women like the elves. Yeah.
See, that's sexist.
Well, it's not sexist. I just think, maybe they're trying to tell us something when we're playing with
I'm just like a little midgie
Yeah.
running around shooting arrows and fucking stuff.
Yeah.
People were picking me up by the scruff of my neck a lot, and
That's not okay.
I was not happy about
That
it.
is not okay. You are a person. A
Yeah,
person's a person, no matter how small.
I may be a small person that doesn't weigh much, but I could still shoot an arrow and hit
They
a
need to
fucking
read
zombie.
themselves some fucking Horton Hears a Who.
Right, because those were really little.
Those
people.
are really little people. Those are like half halflings. Like 24th halflings.
All right, so in Horton Hears a Who, are they the same Who's that live in Whoville that are?
I have always wondered that. I don't know if we've got a Dr. Seuss cinematic universe going on here, but we've got Who's in Whoville. I think on
is that like the same like that fucking
on that
little
fucking
dandelion?
little speck, the fucking Grinch is up there. I think the Grinch is probably disgruntled. Grinch is probably got his shit fucked up real nice when the fucking kangaroos took their whole goddamn planet. And, yeah. I think so. I mean, how many different Who's can there be?
What is Alexa up to?
I don't know.
She's just listening.
She heard me say something.
Well, I learned something this weekend that our friend's dog hates kangaroos.
Oh, ooh. Well, I mean, kangaroos are fuckers, man. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen it. Kangaroos are assholes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too many Australians, but I've heard that those marsupials down there are a bunch of fuck faces.
Yeah, well, so
and all koalas have STDs.
Really?
Yeah, almost
Koalas
like I think 90-something% of them.
They're
have
all like Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee down there.
No.
They keep it in their pouches.
I think it's chlamydia. They all have chlamydia.
Really? I did not know this. Is it not harmful to koalas?
No, it's harmful.
Oh, okay. Because I know a lot of I've been reading the here and there. I've been reading the Guns, Germs, and Steel.
It's just, but these fuckers, they eat eucalyptus and they just fuck each other silly, I guess, and then give each other chlamydia or some other goddamn.
Well, I know a lot of the diseases that are fatal to us started off with animals, and
yeah,
that's
I mean,
why,
like HIV came from monkeys,
right? But I mean, like all the classic diseases, and that's the reason why we had, at least as the guy in Guns, Germs, and Steel postulates, that's the reason why Europeans had all sorts of diseases, and there was no America pox. Right? There's no America pox because they didn't have the domesticated animals to give them their diseases to then spread to all us Europeans invading and killing them.
Well, plus the amount of
All that
like
jazz.
the amount of people that were like condensed.
Concentrated, yes.
Yeah,
in
so
cities,
like the
yeah.
amount of people together in one place. I mean, when
gets
you're
into
a
that
bunch
too.
of tribes that are pretty exclusive to whomever, you're not gonna have as much disease passing along.
Yeah.
But the problem with a lot of diseases, and I don't know what how we fucking got on this, is that
I'm imagining the outline tree of how we got. Yeah.
look at the fucking show notes. But then we start talking about disease.
Yep. And what's that? What's that a subtopic of? I don't know.
What was it? Ebola was a big thing a couple years ago.
Yes.
And the problem with Ebola is that it kills people too quickly.
Right.
And
And
if,
diseases
like-
don't really. That's an accident. The disease doesn't want to kill you.
Yeah, the disease doesn't want to kill you. It wants to be able to be. It wants to like
it wants a
reproduce.
home.
It wants
Yeah.
to. It
It wants
to be
to fuck all through your bloodstream.
right. And Ebola is. I think once it mutates enough, it'll become less lethal.
Yeah.
Because it needs to.
It's a young disease.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't know when to stop fucking.
I mean, HIV is a good one as far as like passing along because it does not kill you. It takes a long fucking time to eventually get AIDS and die.
Right.
So props to HIV for being a great virus at doing what it. I mean, probably the best virus since the human beings.
Oh my god.
You can't name the episode HIV the best virus.
No.
It does such
I
a good
can't.
job.
I got to tell you though, Steve, regarding that book. Sometimes, you see, I'm a book reader. I don't know if you know this.
I'm a television watcher.
But where I first encountered this book, Guns, Germs, and Steel, was in this sequence of videos by this guy CGP Grey on YouTube. And sometimes, I'm gonna admit this as a book reader, sometimes a 10-minute YouTube video is way better at explaining a concept than a book that I could use to be a doorstop.
Plus 10-minute videos of people unboxing something on on YouTube.
I have a few of those on my YouTube channel.
You do?
Yeah, I
It's
do.
because you have the girls stuff on there?
Well,
or-
no, because I got into a habit when I first got my first iMac.
First?
Yeah, my first iMac back in 2007, when there wasn't hardly a YouTube.
And you were typing in on YouTube first?
First, no, I didn't do that much.
That much? Please tell me you were never one of those people.
I think I probably did it at least once. Come on, everyone's done first at least once.
I don't think so. But usually when you do that, you have just barely made it into the second place comment.
Yes, probably. No. So back then I filmed the unboxing of my first iMac, and then I started filming the unboxings of each of my phones. And now I'm totally sick of it, but I am a creature of habit. So when I get a new phone or I get a new computer, I do the unboxing.
There was this great unboxing video that this guy did that my buddy Mike showed me. That was a unboxing of the game Hero Quest and bringing it back to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Let's go full circle.
Let's bring it on back.
Hero Quest is basically like Dungeons and Dragons light. It's sort of like a Dungeons and Dragons board game.
Oh, yeah.
So you have like the little.
That's kind of how I feel about board games. Is I feel like board games are for people who don't want to put in the effort to play D&D.
Well, that and you don't have the time.
That's what I feel about the
Dungeons
board
and
game renaissance.
Well, Dungeons and Dragons is a very large time commitment. Like there's, you have to get together for several hours, and
Yes.
once a week or once every other week or something like that. And for a board game, you can get 4-6 people together in a room and play the board game and to be done with it.
Sure. Here's where I think, and I'm trying to trace the genesis of my feelings about the board game.
So you can play a fucking Hero Quest game in an evening.
Yes, but my feeling is a lot of the
And it
people,
has the best Dungeon Master screen ever.
Oh, you have to tell me about that. My feeling is that a lot of the people I used to play D&D with are the people who are the most adamant and interested in the board game renaissance. And
it's because they don't have as much time to play D&D anymore.
Oh, I totally get it. But
kids and whatever,
whenever
life
they've
gets in the
tried
way.
to show me one of these newfangled board games, I lose interest like in the 10th minute of them trying to explain to me how the hell it's supposed to work. So the beauty of D&D is even though, and the beauty of playing something
there's a
like
fuck
Risk
ton of rules.
or-
We have this book right here. There's a fuck ton of rules in it.
Right, but once you understand the basic rules of D&D or the basic rules of Risk or Monopoly or any of these things, you don't have to spend 10 minutes educating everybody on how to play the fucking game. And I don't know. I'd like you show me Hero Quest. I'm not going to understand what the fuck to do with it. There's a game that and if you hit somebody at the right time, I think it works. There's a game my brother-in-law has brought to a couple of family gatherings now called Letter Tycoon, which we talked about the last time we talked about board games. And now that I played it twice, I want to play Letter Tycoon every fucking time because I understand Letter Tycoon. I don't have to learn anything new.
Do you have some stock in Letter Tycoon? Because
No.
you said it like 6 times.
No, I don't have any stock in Letter Tycoon. It's just that it was a board game that I understood.
Well, the thing with anything in life, you have to know the rules.
Well, listen, when I was a kid, my dad and my brother would sit on the fucking floor in front of big TV, the big TV with the tiny screen.
The big TV that was a piece of furniture, basically.
With a tiny, like 20-inch screen if you were lucky. They would sit down in front of the TV and grab the Intellivision paddles or the Nintendo controllers, and they would toss the instruction book back to me on the couch, and it would be my job to tell them when they hit something like, how the fuck do you do this? Well, they wouldn't drop the F-bomb. He did, but except he didn't use frickin'.
No, it was fudge, is what he said.
Yeah. So they would. How the fudge do you do this, Christopher? Because I was a little kid, and they used.
They didn't call you Earl back then?
No, nobody ever fucking called me Earl in my own house.
That's weird.
The only people who ever called me Earl were people who were picking on me in
me.
middle school
Or high school.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah, so I don't know. So maybe it's just I had to read the instructions so damn much when I was a kid. I don't want to read the instructions anymore.
Okay, well the thing is like what you're explaining to me is like people explaining the instructions to you.
Yes.
So you don't have to read them.
But I don't want to know about instructions. I just want to understand how to do it.
It doesn't. You're not gonna have like magic like telepathy, like me shooting a beam to your head and you magically knowing how to play a fucking game, Chris.
Right.
You have to actually hear things that people are saying.
I
know it's frustrating.
So tell me about the Hero Quest Dungeon Master screen.
It's fucking got this like wizard going like this, and it's got
I saw that, but you would describe that as like his hands kind of doing
say
magic.
He's like I think there might be a crystal ball in front of him, so he's waving his arms in front of a crystal ball, and there's all these fucking monsters on there, and then like I think there's the heroes of the Hero Quest, which was like a warrior, like the basic warrior, like thief,
warrior
wizard,
have a shirt on?
Wizard and archer or something like that. No, definitely not.
He's fucking like He-Man though.
Yeah, he's got a battle axe and he's ready to fuck shit up.
Okay. Is the girl scantily clad? Was it that period of time, or does she actually get to wear some like sensible clothes?
No, it's definitely like the Red Sonja kind of outfit.
Oh, okay. There was a great link I posted once.
I don't know
on one of my blogs about female armor. I'll have to dig that up.
Well, you got to protect your tits and your and your
baby making stuff.
Yeah, but your midsection.
No,
you don't need that protected.
Yeah, nope.
With any sort of chainmail or anything.
Because they'll be so distracted by your breast armor, by your breastplate.
Yeah,
breastplate.
But yeah, it was a fun little evening of dungeons.
You fucked up some zombies.
Yep, we all managed to get to safety, and we're on our way. And then we need to have some difficult conversations about kidnapping, and we'll move on from there.
You think the elves will adjudicate those conversations? Will the elves keep the peace?
Perhaps
between you and so it was the dragon person that captured you, or was one of the elves that captured you? It was
the dragon person.
You can't trust a dragon person, Steve.
That's racist.
Yes, well, you can't trust that Julian Edelman. He might roll a D20. He might roll a natural 20 and.
Are we going to change the subject to the Super Bowl finally?
I thought maybe that's what you were trying to do.
No, so I don't care. Well, I could tell you more about our the Cliff's Notes of no. Next time we play, I could tell you the Cliff's Notes of the fucking Dungeon Master game. Like adventure fun.
I would like that. I like.
Or I could tell you like before the show, and we could figure out if it's interesting enough for people to listen to.
Live vicariously through all you people, all you youngins who have the fun.
Well, maybe I could talk to Dave, and we can get you in on a adventure in the future, and you could be like a recurring character that could be an NPC when you're not around.
I'm trying to remember how we did that when we were in college, because there were some people who only stopped in every once in a while. I think I was one of the regulars. My friend Zeke, the aforementioned Zeke of the poetry and the Irish jokes. He ran the campaign, and I think he had some of us sort of stop by every once in a while. We played Rifts back then. And Zeke on a podcast years later talked about how he hated Rifts, but I actually have a blog entry somewhere where I talked about how Zeke actually knew how to make Rifts good, and he did. Do you ever play Rifts? Do you ever?
I don't. Yeah, it's not.
Did you remember like the concept at all?
No.
Okay, so Rift was a if you'll forgive the.
Are you going to explain the rules to me, Chris?
Rifts was like post-apocalyptic. There was some magic. There was a lot of armor.
Your post-apocalypse can kiss my ass.
Trying to think of how to make that a title. Your post-apocalypse can kiss my. I like that. I think that might be it. No, so it was like post-apocalyptic. There were guns, but there were also like juicers. Juicers were like somebody who could like juice themselves up with chemicals and become super. You get in like a big fucking thing of armor with a gun.
This does sound familiar. Maybe because I remember playing some sort of like.
The thing is,
like futuristic something or other.
It was really easy to roll up
Kyle's house back in the day.
Yeah, it was really easy to roll up a character who was way more powerful than anybody else, and therefore, like the dungeon master, anything they could throw at you would be useless. Like you'd just be able to destroy everything. And so, if you were a teenager who was just interested in having the most powerful whatever and not having a very interesting story, you would just roll up. I forget what class of character it was. You would just roll up that character and nobody could beat you, and it would be fucking boring. So I think the first thing that Zeke did was outlaw that particular character class, the one with the huge gun that could destroy everything. And so we all had to play different kinds of characters. Anyway,
like the gun was the thing that made them
there
powerful.
Was one with
like Barrett from Final Fantasy VII.
Maybe, I don't know. I've never.
He had a gun hand.
Oh, okay.
I've been watching a lot of Final Fantasy speedruns.
You would have this huge armor that almost nothing could penetrate, and a rail gun. I think it was.
No, I think Barrett had a rail gun on his. Or you could change his gun to like gun hand.
Anyway, so Zeke was good at that, and I think he had Dungeons and Dragons too, and we had some people who were there.
I don't think that a gun
week.
hand is really practical. How the fuck do you fire it? Does like
I don't know.
If you don't have a hand there anymore?
Yeah.
Like, how does that shit operate? Like fucking Zephyr from One Piece film Z.
Yeah.
Like he has this fucking like this fucking.
How does Edward Scissorhands
mechanical arm? Well, I imagine like the Scissors hands are like his natural body hands.
Yeah. So
for like, but like I don't know.
But a gun, yeah.
Gun or like it has like this fucking blaster on
maybe
it. He can grab things with it.
Maybe what you really need to do is you need to get that guy.
It's made out of sea prism fucking stone.
Need to, like dissect his forearm and kind of like see how the tendons, and in the same way that like I can control my fingers right now, his brain is able to go, all right, pull the fucking trigger.
We need to get Vengapunk and fucking pick his brain.
I don't think I have the stamina to be in like in any kind of D&D. I look back.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to, like, you know, we could figure something out, and you know when your availability is, and then we could figure it out, and then you can come down for a week or something like that, and we can have a little game where you're, and then if you come back in the story before. Before you can come back in real life, then maybe Dave can just make you an NPC for a little bit, and then, you know.
I'll play a giant named Kanye.
Kanye the Giant.
That fucking video. Oh my goodness. Those guys are
funny. 5 titties fall out.
Can I milk all them damn titties for the golden milk that I sell to the master dwarf?
No. Master Dwarf? That's racist what you're doing.
What? I was doing an impression.
Yeah.
Of Key or Peel. I don't remember which one. Is the fact that I don't remember which one
Peel.
racist? Is it Peel?
Yeah.
Those guys are hilarious. I like those
They're
guys.
really funny.
I gotta find
guys.
more of their stuff.
It's on Hulu.
I don't have the Hulu.
Hulu running from a magic.
Martellus Bennett running from the defensive line and scoring some. Wait, no, he didn't score any touchdowns, did he?
What?
I keep trying to transition. We're 34 minutes in. We haven't talked about the Super. Well, we did at the beginning.
Well, here's the thing
They
about
fucking won.
I can't believe
Sorry.
I can't believe I really can't believe that they won that fucking game.
No, I would. I mean, what if I?
Like we were like fuck this, and like what was the 28th of
It
3.
was like, yeah, it was. Like,
And we were like, "Fuck it, let's just go home," because we were up at one of Becky's friends. Well, you know, they're our friends.
Yeah.
Up in Amesbury, and so we're like, ugh, we're gonna get home late.
Yeah.
Let's just head home now. We're probably not gonna win this game. So we were driving
There's
home.
no way we're going to win this game. They had kept saying like the most anybody's come down from is 10 points. Now they're down 21 points. Now they're like,
Yeah, there was a ridiculous amount of points we were down by, and then it was like, okay, let's just go. So we're going home, and we're like, let's not listen to the game. We're
Right.
listening to the River,
Yeah.
which is a good radio station locally that you should listen to and support because they are
it's
not
always
owned by fucking giant corporations.
right.
Give us jobs.
Haven't we proved ourselves over 133
Haven't you?
episodes?
Yeah, 130 something episodes of fucking BS.
I think we might be able to, for like a couple of hours of spinning music, not swear and not talk about.
I don't want to spin records. I mean,
spin records. I would spin records.
you could spin record. You could pick
spin
out
a
the
record.
music. Because I would
I'd
just
spin
get
an MP3. I'm sure they don't spin any fucking records.
Yeah, obvious. Well, they might have some vinyl there. I
They
mean,
might.
it's an older station. They
Yeah,
probably
okay.
still have the turntables. So if they want to play something,
And a microphone.
fuck you. But yeah, so we were driving home.
Yeah.
And you know, we drove by they had you know, a bunch of billboards on 95. And we're like, oh, it's 20 to fucking 28. How the fuck did that happen?
How the fuck did that happen?
We were like, okay. So, and then I kind of poked onto my phone and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's the fourth quarter. It's
Yeah.
almost over. I don't think we can make it. And
Yeah.
then I looked and I'm like, wait. It's 26 to... And I'm like, that means we got to get another 2-point conversion to
Yeah.
tie the fucking game.
Right. Yep.
And then I looked and I'm like,
It's
the
time.
game is fucking tied. So we got home just in time to see the end of the regular play.
yeah.
And then the beginning of overtime. And then we got the ball, and the rest was fucking. We managed to score a touchdown in that first drive, which is what you need to do when you go into overtime.
Yeah, because it's sudden. If you score a touchdown, you win. If you score a field goal, they get a chance to
also score a field goal or
get
a
a
touchdown.
and win. For me, oh my god, I have said that so much this week in class, and every time I do it, I almost
You have
do
me
it.
in the back of your head going, for me.
For me,
But everybody says it. Like I hear it so much, and I say it too. It's not something that I'm not guilty of, but it's just something that I've noticed people say
my
a
God.
lot. Like,
Yeah.
but I think what really brought it to my attention was this goddamn house show, and I just it made me laugh so much when we went to the movie, and then they started the ad for her like Magnolia Farms,
Right.
fucking
Yeah.
at Jordan's Furniture, and the first fucking thing she says is for me is blah 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 blah, and I'm like, oh fucking hell.
So we sat as a family, and we're watching. Watched most of the first half. Stephanie left maybe after the first quarter and went upstairs to help Melody get ready for bed or whatever it was. But Kaylee wanted to stay down and watch it. And then it started to get ridiculous. I'm like, Kaylee, do you really want to stay and watch the rest of this game? And she said no. What I didn't realize is what she really wanted to watch is she wanted to watch halftime.
Which was Lady Gaga.
So we said our goodbyes to our parents, and as we're going upstairs, Kaylee's like, I really wanted to watch the halftime. I'm like, oh, well, we can watch halftime. So we turned on the TV in Stephanie and my room, and we watched halftime. And we're like, nah, we're done. We're not going to watch anymore. So we turn off the TV. I read the story to the girls for bedtime. We just basically proceed with our normal Sunday routine as if the Super Bowl is not on.
Yeah.
And so then the rest of my normal Sunday routine is I've started Sunday through Thursday. I do an hour of reading and an hour of writing before bed. So I start doing my reading, and and I'm reading a book of essays, and in between each essay, I kind of hop onto Twitter and check the score, and I'm like, nothing, nothing, and then.
And then all of a sudden...
Then finally, all of a sudden, I must have been reading a really long essay because it went from no hope at all to I checked Twitter and I've got an @reply. And I'm like, who's @replying me? And the person is this guy, Jason, that I know from...
Voorhees?
No, from Martin, I think, from the internet. And I think his name is on it, so I don't have to fucking bleep it this week. Last week,
Did you beep something last week?
I did, because I mentioned a person, and I said I think his tweets are public, and no, they are private. And he doesn't use his whole name, so I beeped his name. Anyway, so this week, Jason, I think I can say his name. Anyway.
And the Argonauts.
Jason tweets at me. He says, somebody wake at ECC 1977 up. And I was like, what? And so I check and I see, oh my God, the game is...
close.
I think it was when it was 20-28. So I see, and I'm like, I'm not going to go wake Stephanie up and turn on the TV. I'm not going to go back downstairs because I don't want to be down there if it goes badly. And so I can't, I don't have Flash installed on my computer. I just don't. Because it's a battery hog and it's a safety. It's a shitty product. So I'm like, all right, I got to download Chrome, the browser, because Chrome has Flash built in. So I'm on my computer and I'm downloading Chrome and I'm checking Twitter and they're like, oh my God, did he just make that catch? And I'm like, what? Ah! So I get Chrome installed and I get the NFL website or whatever, NFL on Fox, up just in time to see the replay of Julian Edelman making that catch. And I'm like, holy shit, if he makes that catch, then I need to watch the rest of this game because something is going our way. And sure enough, they come back, and the first thing I hear is basically, after review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a catch, and the crowd goes, whoa! I'm like, all right, I'm here. And I think it's like 1 or 2 plays later, they go in for the touchdown, and of course, they get the 2-point conversion. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then, as you say, they march down the field in overtime and get the. And James White, I think it's White, was the guy who scored the last couple of touchdowns, and Brady later said he should get the truck, just like 2 years ago. He said, "What's his ass?"
Well, the thing is, like they gave Brady the MVP, but like there was so many other like the first fucking 3 quarters of that game, like Brady was playing like shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I mean, part of it was due to the Atlanta defense being really good, but then getting really tired by the time the end of the game rolled around. But he did not play well.
No.
Like for most of that game. I like, as much as like the NFL loves Tom Brady.
Which they kind of don't.
Yeah. Well, as much as they were probably trying to say, I'm sorry, Tom Brady, for suspending you for like the allegations of balls being deflated in an AFC championship
It's funny, as you're saying that, you're rubbing your chin, and I'm like, is he going to say something about balls on Tom Brady's chin?
Balls on his chin. I'm just rubbing my...
Just doing
I trimmed my beard, and I got a haircut recently, so it's different. I'm touching it.
You're feeling your face.
Yes.
Getting used to yourself.
Yeah.
How much do you think that they did any of that, and knowing the ratings and knowing the stories that would come out, because Goodell would have to not only there was all this talk beforehand that if they won, it wasn't even going to be Goodell that handed the trophy to Brady and Belichick and Kraft. It was going to be somebody else, but in the end he did. And he got booed. There was all the boos. But then they give Tom Brady the MVP, and that means that the next day, I think it was the next day, he has to do the trophy presentation to Tom Brady again. So twice in 24 hours, he has to do that. I think the second time was not in front of fans, so there wasn't booing.
I liked it when they had the trophy and they were just passing it to everybody around.
Yeah.
And then I think there was several guys that said, "I'm gonna kiss that motherfucking trophy."
They didn't bleep it.
Yeah, that there was no bleep.
I think
the whole purpose of broadcasting with a slight delay is so you can cut the sound when someone says motherfucker.
only he didn't say frickin'.
But the thing is, like, who gave a shit? Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, anybody that was
They're
that
getting
had
so much fucking money for that they can pay the FCC.
anybody that had their children up at that time to watch the fucking end of the game,
Right.
probably said motherfucker several times, really loud at the television.
Right. And if they were a Patriots fan, they were saying it earlier. If they were a Falcons fan, they were saying it later.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the fucking thing: who gives a shit if people say motherfucker on television?
They could say, I am Groot.
I mean, you could say I am Groot.
Yeah, only he didn't say frickin'. I'm sorry.
I mean, like, if you look at cable, like, back in cable again,
Yeah.
but like back in the day,
Back in the day, he had a big gun. He had the eye that glowed. He hung out with Deadpool a little bit. Cable, that guy.
not that cable.
Not that Cable.
He's supposed to be in the second.
He
Deadpool
is,
movie.
and this is like, who's gonna be Cable? Oh my gosh.
The
Any old white dude.
yeah, the what is it? HBO. Of course, you can swear or whatever, but it's
Yeah.
a premium channel. But technically, any cable channel doesn't have to obey the FCC.
Basic cable? Like, does FX have to? Like,
No.
no?
Because it's a paid service. It's not broadcast to everyone.
right.
So you could choose not to have it. Like if like Fox and NBC, ABC, all those stations that you could get on that TV over there,
Right.
like without having to pay for cable.
But can you drop an F-bomb on Fox News? Fox
Yes.
News is cable.
Yeah, you could drop
But-
an F-bomb
but
on Fox
so
News
many people
or on
watch it.
Nessun or like. But the thing is, like where it occurred was on Fox.
Yes, not Fox News.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. The slightly less evil branch of the company.
Yeah, well, it's weird because like there's so many programs that are on that show that are so frighteningly left leaning.
Yeah.
like I mean, if you just look at The Simpsons,
Right.
Like we've been watching some episodes from like the 16th, 17th season, and this was like in the peak of like the Bush presidency.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much like not even, I would say, completely overtly political things
Yeah.
on that show, saying
They
like
can't help themselves.
Yeah, and it's it's on a network that is so incredibly right wing.
Right. Yeah. It's hard to make that mental math make sense.
Yeah, and I'm sure that but the thing is, like, Simpsons has historically been one of the most popular shows
Right.
on the Fox network
They're not gonna get rid of it.
since 1989. So fucking, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna?
Do you think did they?
Are you gonna feed the hand that bites you?
Did they feed the hand? Oh yeah, I guess.
Because it's yeah.
Did they have as much fun poking fun at Clinton during the Clinton years?
I think they did plenty of that, but I think
Yeah.
it was more just
Goofy.
it was
Yeah.
more goofy
Yeah.
stuff. Whereas when it was the Bush years, it was definitely like well, just like our show and bunches of other podcasts that I've listened to. Like, it's hard to not get political, and when
Yes.
you get political, you get fucking not funny.
I'm trying. I know. I'm like,
And
I'm trying.
I'm steering myself away from it.
I was like, let's not.
I know, and it sucks because like you want to fucking talk about it
Yeah.
because it's fucking upsetting.
Right.
But it's something that we just have to we have to steer. We have to make our ideas go out there into the world, and hopefully people listen to them and agree with them.
Right.
But I don't know.
But a little bit of angry Steve is not a bad thing. So
A different kind of angry,
different
Steve,
kind
mind
of
you.
angry. Yes, I was just looking at our notes and to remind myself of like anything we had to get in here in the last 11 minutes or so. And one of the things I had to ask you about is the parade. Like you said, that the parade maybe affected you a little bit.
All right, so I work in the city of Boston, and that's where the parade was.
Yes.
I take the bus in the morning, and I take the fucking very early bus,
Right.
And so I took it in, and it was fine, there was no issues. In fact, it was actually a little bit smoother going in the morning because I think less people were venturing into the city because of the fact that the parade was happening. And I walked right through right near the Common, which is right on the parade route.
Yeah.
They're setting up the steel barricades and whatnot, and so I'm walking to the Park Street station. I go to work. I come back, and it just looked like vomit everywhere.
Oh no!
It looked because it was raining, and sort of freezing rain, snowy, fucking.
It was a weird day.
Gross shit.
I don't remember what the weather was for the last one because I wasn't there. But the first 3 parades I was present for, and it was cold, but it was never. There was not a lot of precipitation.
So yeah, they had the red and the blue. Like confetti, I guess, that was spraying everywhere.
Oh, yeah, which of course...
And when it hits the ground, along with rain and freezing goop and whatever, it looked like fucking just purple puke. Like more like... less purple and more vomit-like.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like the bottom of the Gronkowski van.
And it was just... It was like, fuck, what is going on here? It's just like
That's
disgusting.
Those guys drink a lot.
But yeah, whatever.
Which they maybe did.
So I'm just walking back, and there's beer bottles and cigarettes and fucking and puke shit.
Times Square the day after New Year's.
Probably worse than that.
Oh,
because I think it's more consolidated as far as the area of where this is taking place. Like Times Square is huge.
Yeah.
And this parade. Oh my god, it was just fucking disgusting. I get to the bus stop.
Yeah.
And there's no traffic on that stretch of road, despite the fact that they've already cleared away the barricades and everything.
Right.
And so I'm like, well, fuck, what am I supposed to do? And I'm looking to see online on my phone to figure out when the fucking bus is going to come, if at all. And it gave me very little, the MBTA gave me very little indication.
Oh, they are the one, but they're such a beacon of
fuck hell. So what I had to do was, I texted Becky and I'm like, can you pick me up at, a station?
Right.
Some, the end of the red line, end of the orange line, some station that's nearby where we live or relatively close to either where you work or where we live.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, sure. So luckily she saved me. But then because the State Street station is right there.
Yep.
And so I just popped in there. I'd never navigated that station before.
Right, yeah.
And so I was going to go on the orange line, but then I ended up changing my mind, going to the red line.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, fuck it. And it was just such a clusterfuck with all these people. And when I got onto the red line, there was beer bottles and nips everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
And I've never been to one of these parades before. I mean, even in college, the several times that the Patriots won and the Red Sox won, I never went in for these events, and I was just like, I don't know if I would have acted that way.
Yeah. I was there for
even as because I know these aren't all just fucking college kids
no,
that are
not
just drinking on the. There was way too much fucking garbage everywhere for that to have been just college kids.
Yeah, it's it sounds like it's gotten worse, but my recollections. So I went to the first 3.
And this is probably just me being a curmudgeon now because I'm pushing 40 and I just don't fucking like young people anymore.
It's just these kids today. We were way more respectful.
But I don't think I was way more respectful. But I think I wouldn't have been throwing garbage everywhere.
You weren't a Boy Scout. You were a Cub Scout. And I pick up after my shit. When we go camping, go back to that. When we go camping, I am the one leading the kids in the sweep of the of the campsite to make sure we pick up all of our shit and any shit somebody else left behind.
Are you talking about feces here? Or are you talking about...
No, like garbage.
Okay.
Never feces, although one time dog food.
That look like feces.
Yeah, well, it was, and we were in fucking bear country. It's one of my wife's coworkers. They had their dog with them, and they dumped the bowl out the back of their tent. And we were still.
Why didn't they have the dog eat the food?
We were still staying there one more night. They left their fucking dog food there at the edge of the campsite when my family was still there one more night, and bears could have come anyway. So I went to the first 3 Patriots parades. The first one I went to because my job was right there on the parade route. So we were like watching on our computers, finding out when it was going to be there. And then we went down for 10 minutes while it passed by. We went back upstairs, went back to fucking work. Second time I actually took the day off and I went, and this is when they still were having the rallies. I don't know if they did, maybe they did that this time too, but for a few years they didn't. They had a rally at City Hall Plaza and I went down and stood there for way too long. That was a little crazy. Not so much shit on the ground, but no bathrooms. So somebody was probably pissing somewhere, I'm sure.
Someone
or someone's.
Most people.
But I think maybe my experience was different because I was always just going there while I was on break from work. The third time, my boss and I went down together. I walked out of Kenmore Square, walked down to the parade route and watched it. It was never that crazy, and by the time I would be leaving to go home, the one crazy thing, and I think I've said this on the show before, was I was taking the commuter rail at the time of the first one, and on the way home, it was so packed full of people that the conductors couldn't even get around to like check our tickets, and the conductors could not stop people who were in the vestibule or in the space between the trains from figuring out how to use the intercom. And so drunkards at the intercom would push the button and go, "Patriots!" And then everyone would go, "Woo!" And then they say, "Rapes suck!" Oh. Like, that was the worst that shit got. And my friend and I got a seat and we just like dealt with it until it was time to get off.
I mean, I've definitely in my life been a drunk asshole. I've almost gotten my ass kicked after Red Sox games,
right,
or whatever else. I'm not immune from the criticism that I'm giving.
Right.
Like, I have been that asshole.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've been like so extremely that, well, when it's that many people, like when it's one asshole, like I think it's fine.
Right.
But when you get a lot of assholes together, they become one giant asshole. Too bad we can't call the episode that. But then just fucking throwing garbage everywhere,
but it's like we've been to sporting events, right? Like I've been to a few, but I've never been to a sporting event where it really like counted. I've been to a Red Sox game in the middle of the damn season where like nobody cared.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to a playoff game ever for any team ever.
I've never been to a football game, but like, so you have to.
Neither have I.
Yeah, you have to take into account like this is.
Why aren't they having the fucking parade in Foxborough where they fucking play, and not in the city of Boston where people actually have to work on a fucking Tuesday? Why the fuck is it on a Tuesday? There are days at the end of the week where people typically don't work as much.
It's on a Tuesday because all the players want to go home, right?
Oh, eat shit.
I thought it was just going to be a little angry, Steve.
Fuck you. The players want to go. You can't wait another 3 or 4 fucking days so you can give your fans like a little bit of a fucking celebration.
That's my understanding has always
been. Or
been
maybe not have it in fucking February where there's a good chance it's going to be shit weather out there and snow.
But Steve, if you want to have all the players who were in the Super Bowl, there's a good chance they're not going to be on the team anymore come the springtime or the summertime or whatever.
At least then not have a fucking parade.
Since you're already angry, at least I can.
Let's not have a fucking parade.
Since you're already angry, I'll just mention at least a lot of them are not going to go to
the
White House.
I don't give a shit. Well, good. Don't go there.
I mean, the coach and the quarterback and the owner might.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
Anyway,
but fuck it. I just enough with fucking. Well, they have.
We don't need any more parades.
So
Is, like,
I haven't been into. You've been in the city for St. Patty's Day parade, right?
No. I always had St. Patty's Day off
because of that.
No, because it was evacuation day.
Oh,
because when I was working in the city during that time frame, we were observing Suffolk County holidays, and Suffolk County holidays include Evacuation Day. And Evacuation Day always fell on the same day as St. Patrick's Day.
See, well, I was in Chicago for St. Patty's Day, and I wasn't there for the parade, mind you, where they dye the river green or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was drunkards running around, fucking like on St. Patty's Day proper. I was one of them, but I wasn't, I wasn't as good at being drunk as I used to be, and so I kind of passed out at like 4 p.m.
Right.
back in the hotel room.
Oh gosh.
When Becky got done with doing what her job required her to do.
Right.
And but like I didn't see any of the obscene things that perhaps went on during this fucking parade.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to go to work on St. Patty's Day, like, and see what goes on that day as well.
Yeah.
So I can get a gauge of whether or not it's this fucking sports fan assholes that are the problem, or it's just
Boston.
people.
People are the problem.
Yeah, they definitely are the fucking problem.
People are Soylent Green.
Yes.
You can find this.
Wow, the show's
show
already
notes
over.
for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/133 for 133.
You can shove your Patriots parade up your ass. I'm glad you fucking won, but eat shit with your fucking parade and your gross shit and ruining my fucking
We
commute.
had such a happy show until the
I hate fucking parades. At least ones that ruin my day. Parades are supposed to be a fun thing. I used to go to the Chelmsford.
Parades aren't fun.
Well, they're supposed to be fun. The one in Chelmsford Center, we used to go every year.
It's never fun. It's too fucking hot. There's no place
because it's in the middle of July.
It's not in the middle of July.
The beginning of July.
There's no place to sit that's fucking shady. Well, there's plenty of places to sit that are shady, but there's no shade in any of the places that you
People throwing shade.
And like I've been to Disney World a bunch of times, and the kids always want to. And when I was a kid, I wanted it too. You want to sit there and see the parade, and they always do the fucking parade in the dark. Actually, I don't think they do that parade anymore. I think they finally learned their lesson. But like, it's
what happened during the dark parade?
Well, the electric light parade was what they had, and it's just you can't fucking see anything. And
except for the things that are lit up with electric lights
that are lit up, which don't include, because it's in the Magic Kingdom, don't include your dad. Your dad can only drink over in Epcot. But I don't know. I don't. That was a joke. I made you laugh.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Good one. Anyway, I don't dig a parade either, but
Well, parades are sucking. We need to fucking let's start a movement against parades.
No parades.
So people can actually get to their jobs or whatever else.
And yet she paraded.
What?
Isn't that what it was this week? She persisted. She paraded.
Where can you find?
You can find the show notes. I told you that. I told you. Go back and listen.
For what
30
episode?
seconds ago.
What episode are we on?
We told them that too.
I forgot.
clarkwoods.com/hot/133.
I thought we were 134.
133. I checked before the show. 132 was Punxsutawney Catane.
Oh.
133 is whatever we're gonna fucking call this one.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. 133.
I'm getting my phone because I'm making sure.
I have the fucking podcast up here. February 6th, Punxsutawney Catane, episode 132. Today, when this comes out, it's gonna be February 13th. Episode 133.
You better be right.
Steve doesn't
buddy.
believe me.
I'm just concerned. I just don't want to be telling him incorrect information.
If you would like to send us an email about how I was right.
Oh, we had emails.
We didn't really have emails.
We had two emails.
We had junk emails.
We had one email and one fake email.
Did we have an actual email?
Yes, we had an actual email.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't fucking tell me Matt's email was
all right.
fake.
So if you want to send an email about how I was
talk about
right
them next
and
week, the
wrong, we'll
emails.
talk about them next time. Fuck, you're right.
We had two emails.
Yeah, we did. Fucking hell. All right, next week.
Next week, we're going to talk about emails.
Next
all right?
week, emails. Send us more to hot@clarkwoods.com and we'll make a whole fucking email show. Send us like a 22-page email and we'll read the whole thing in dramatic reading. Steve will read part, I'll read part.
Yeah, give us parts in the email.
Oh, yes.
To read.
Yes.
Just say Steviekins reads this part.
Or if you have something shorter to say, you can tweet us. I am at ECC1977.
And I am at Tuesday is Loser. That's Tuesday IS Loser, all one word.
Now let's go have a parade.
No.